Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today you're going to have a very exclusive sneak peek at Vince's Secret Locker at specifically Volume 2. But I've since purchasing and actually reviewing Karl Coyne's books, been fortunate enough to befriend Karl, and he has sent me some exclusive high quality scans of his books, in particular Volume 2, which we will cover today. So I hope you enjoy this sneak peek. You will only get it here at the Golden Era Bookworm. So looking at Volume 2, now I've already done reviews on Volume 1, Volume 2, and on the enhanced Volume 1 book as well. Quickly recapping, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The books are so in-depth. Every page is gold, as I've said before. Once you start reading it, you won't put it down. The book is full of in-depth knowledge, a goldmine really, of Vince's teachings. It has this touch of vintage, which I hope you can appreciate from the next few pages. Let's have a look. Like, for example, look at the cover. The cover itself is a masterpiece, really just showcasing Vince and the bodybuilders that he's touched. It's kind of like a walk through time. Look at that back cover as Vince walks into the mist, into the mist where the icons and legends of the Golden Era have gone before him. It's so artistic. It really is a wonderful cover just on Volume 2. Look at Lou Ferrigno's review. Wow, Vince's Secret Lock is a trip back in time, absolutely. And Joe Wader says he's gone now, but he'll live in our workouts and hearts forever. Robbie Robinson's comments, awesome, I love it, 5 stars out of 5. Yeah, most people that have picked this book up have said the same thing. You can't put it down. It's really if you really love the Golden Era and you are a fan of Vince's teachings, of his diets, and you've seen my videos on his diets, some have gone viral. If you're a fan of his techniques, his philosophies, especially his training and nutrition philosophies, this book has got all that and more. Let's have a look now inside the book. As I said, all this is exclusive, high quality scans provided to me from Karl himself. There's some great artwork provided from his many friends. You can see that great photo of Arnold, Franco, Vince, and I think it's Robert Nayland there. These high quality photos at the bottom. These photos at the bottom are actually full page spreads or full pages from his book. There's some artwork there of Rocky with Carl Weathers and Vince, because he actually trained these stars for the Rocky movies. Franco actually trained Sly, but Vince trained Carl Weathers. There's some great photos, as you see, of Dave Draper, Don Howarth, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, you name it, they're in there. It's all in there. It's fantastic. It really is. There's some great artwork, which have become some posters, like this one of Vince holding that dumbbell triumphantly overhead and smoking his cigar. He was a real health guru, but he enjoyed his cigars, that's for sure. Now, who's Karl? Karl's actually an American natural bodybuilder from New York, and he's actually living in Europe right now. And as I mentioned, through my conversations with him, I actually learnt that he was a collector, and that's what I really like about him. He's actually extremely knowledgeable, not just about Vince, but about the whole Golden Era, which makes this book so much more. A lot of books just talk about Vince and his training principles, his philosophies about training, nutrition, etc. But this book goes beyond, and that's what I need to, really cement in your minds. It is also about Vince's influence in the Golden Era, because Vince was so central to the Golden Era style of bodybuilding, and this book really addresses that. You'll see what I mean in a minute. As I mentioned, Vince was so central that this book actually focuses on the history of bodybuilding itself during that time, because Vince was so iconic. His teachings, philosophies, and trainings had this ripple effect on everybody. When Arnold came to America, Joe Wader took him to Vince. If you saw the list of athletes that trained with Vince, he basically trained them all. He trained all the champions. If you want to name a master blaster, it was Vince. Vince was the true master blaster, not Joe Wader. Joe Wader sold the magazines, but Vince created this beautiful art-like physique that we are so still reminiscing about nowadays from the golden era. And this book really does capture these books, this whole series, not just volume 1, not just volume 2, but the whole series, even the new enhanced editions, which are new books in themselves, really capture all this phenomenal period of the golden era. As I mentioned, there are rare photos, rare artwork. I mean, this is a great photo of Arnold. High quality scans. What you are seeing is what you get, except it's actually printed on glossy paper if you get a hardcover, for example. These are rare photos you're going to find in there. Not published, and if published, well, they've probably been stolen. But these are rare photos that Karl has access to. Great photos and artwork, as well as, of course, the articles, which are the real treasure in this book. The articles, as I mentioned, on the Iron Guru Vince Gironda are the real treasure, are the real the real phenomenal thing about this book is every single little tidbit of information that you get from these articles is worth gold, and you can apply them immediately. There's so many articles. I think the first volume has 600 pages. The second one has over 400 pages. It's incredible amount of information. There's some really interesting sections. There are all these articles on nutrition, on training, showing the exercise technique that Gironda would actually that he would promote his own thoughts. Some great photos of his gym, of himself, of the bodybuilders that he trained. But besides all these photos and articles, there's also some great sections like question and answer sections where people from the public would ask him questions and he would actually answer them from his own knowledge of more than 30 years, 40 years in the iron game. There's also exclusive interviews with golden era legends such as Franco here. Again, this is an exclusive scan from his book. And all of them have, of course, great things to say about Vince. Vince was central, really central in the whole period of the golden era, and it is really reflected in these interviews with these golden era legends. My favorite section has to be, because I am a collector myself, has got to be the collector's gallery. Again, these are exclusive scans provided to me by Karl. Thank you, Karl, once again, of the collector's gallery. If you are a collector or starting a collection, or really wish to know, I've been asked so many times, how can I acquire Vince's booklets? How many of them are there? Etc., etc. You know, Vince produced so many booklets that I'm pretty sure that nobody else in the world except Karl actually owns them all. For example, the website ironguru.com sells scanned copies, but you will not find all the issues of the one topic. For example, if you look at Balanced Arms here, did you know there were at least 3 booklets produced by Vince? And the thing is that all these booklets usually had different information. And so this is what makes, to me, the collector's gallery so important, because I've actually got, for example, 3 different booklets of the definition booklets as an example. And every single one of them has something different. They're all different. Even the images are different. The exercises provided by Vince are different. And when you pull all of this information together, you end up with a plethora of information from Vince. And for me as a collector, I'm going to try and collect every single one of his versions of and issues of these booklets, because there was so much information that Vince knew. And this is what I like about Karl. He really has Vince's library. He really has all this information, and he puts it in this book. It's amazing. It really, really is. You will not, I repeat, you will not find this information in other books, because there are very few people in the world that have Vince's library. This is what makes Karl's book so special. You also get, as a collector, get to learn all the information that existed out there on Vince. And that's a rare thing to find and to know. And he applies all this knowledge in this book. It's fantastic. Here we go. Here's more examples. Blueprint for the Bodybuilder. There was at least 3 different booklets as well. And you can see that the first edition is shown here, completely different to the second and third edition. So again, lots of information, and he gives you even the information on the number of pages, if there were any photos. Yeah, I mean, he is so knowledgeable about Vince. I don't know of anyone more knowledgeable about Vince in this world right now than Karl. An amazing guy. I love speaking to him all the time when I get the chance, because he just knows so much. It's fantastic. So to sum up, if you are interested in purchasing Vince's Secret Locker Volume 1, Volume 2, or the Enhanced Edition, which I highly recommend you actually buy all of the books if possible. If not, you can buy the Enhanced Editions. They're actually, Volume 1 is out now. The second one, I believe, is coming out early 2019, or maybe, I think it's coming out early 2019. And anyway, they are available on Karl Coyne's website, vincessecretlocker.com. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and leave me your comments. Have you bought Vince's Secret Locker? If not, why haven't you? Why are you waiting? These books, as I mentioned, are a gold mine. Do yourself a favor, go get yourself a copy while they're still available. They will become collectibles, I guarantee it. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.